Any other thoughts?
Yeah, I got one question. Someone said recently that, especially on Facebook now, there's a lot of people, they say they give their interpretation of things. So, how do you know when someone has some, let me phrase this properly.
Enlightenment.
Yeah, like how do you know when someone actually has some understanding on how to, when can you post things and when can you know?
You're asking me in Facebook. I don't have an account, but I think Facebook is so open anyone can put anything. Right?
Because it's based on, if someone's rabbits, then they get something.
How? I don't know.
Someone could say, I got something.
You got what?
Some understanding.
So I think people never lie, so if they say they have something, they must have something.
They might believe themselves.
Yeah. Normally we don't trust other people's revelations because they may lie. You mean questions that cover spiritual life?
Yeah, like spiritual things.
But it has nothing to do with Facebook. Anyone can approach you personally and say, he's got divine, he can hear divine voices. So basically we trust, it's just a rule. It's not like with absolute, it's not law, it's a rule. Basically we trust to those who don't have tendency to exploit us. Like if you want to buy something, then the seller has a tendency to exaggerate his product to sell you. So this exaggeration is called deception or lies. And if someone doesn't want to sell you his ideas or his goods, then he has more chances we trust him. Like a mother or father, they don't want to cheat their kids. This is why we trust them. So, in our spiritual life, we trust Vaishnavas who are not interested in getting something from us. Like those who don't desire a prestige. We always praise them. So if you see someone who has this tendency to be praised, you should be more cautious about it. Or if his tendency is to take your money or your attention, whatever, your time, so we should be cautious. It's not that you bluntly discard this, more cautious.
Why can't put your faith in someone?
As we say, the free cheese is only in mouse ketchup. You can find only in mouse ketchup, the free cheese. So sorry?
And what if you put your faith in someone,
Mm-hmm.
and you think that what they're saying is good, and then later you find out they're wrong?
Then change your faith.
But you trusted yourself.
This is why we have, beside faith, we also have an instrument which is called reason. So those who we trust to must have some qualities. And initially we believe they have these qualities. But when we see the proofs that they're lacking that quality, so we should, without changing the general faith in Bhakti idea of Bhakti, we can change the faith in particular person. We don't see any person who deserves our faith. So we should have faith in acharyas of the past or scriptures. And scriptures, they are like instructions that lead us to whom we can have faith. So, but the basic is, if someone wants to take something from you, or sell you something, then without giving away the idea, we don't trust this person anymore, because he may exploit the idea. You can read nice book on like Bible or Quran or Bhagavatam, and he can exploit the idea. Who say that Bhagavatam cannot be exploited? In Krishna in fourth chapter says that I come from time to time to restore the institution of Dharma, but as the time passes, people destroy this again. It's deteriorated step by step. Then I come again. So Bhagavatam, when people have tendency to exploit, sell you something, they can exploit anything. Even Bhagavatam and Gita, they can quote very exalted verses, but they mean to take something from you. So we know from examples of Srila Guru Maharaj and Srila Gurudev, they had no exploiting tendency. They didn't mean to take, they only gave. No example, Gurudev, he only gave, he didn't take.
And you give, you get more.
Yes, this is the difference between material object, neutral object, and spiritual. What is the difference? Material thing, when you give it away, you lose it. Knowledge, when you give it, you have the same. You just share, but you don't lose it. And spiritual, you give, and you have more. this is also a criteria of spiritually charged substances. You give it and you have more. You give your love to your children, you feel more. So it's very complicated, very subtle thing how to define who wants to just exploit us for prestige, or who is really our well-wisher. So we get more mature, and we don't trust. Next time we don't trust easily. Like a child, initially he trusts everyone. Every grown-up person looks like my mother, my father. I can trust. And then he may be abused. So he gets more expert, and he gets more experienced. So he will not trust anyone. So we also, as we advance in spiritual life, we don't trust anyone who wears priest robe or Vaishnava clothes. We don't trust. It's not the symptom. This is the gross way, but in subtle way, we also don't trust anyone who utters spiritual words, quotes, sentences from Holy Scriptures. Like we know Sahajiazm, they're very expert in knowledge of Holy Scriptures, even in books of Goswamis, 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan. They know by heart many passages they know by heart. And they may juggle the meanings to attract you and to abuse, spiritually abuse you, to exploit. We know. So this is the question that you asked. It's all about the something genuine and false, right? How to distinguish between false and the genuine, right? There is a story, I think everyone knows, Maharaj told about Khadi clothes, handmade clothes in India. They make handmade clothes. After the Second World War, Gandhi declared blockout of British clothes, and he asked Indians to buy only handmade Indian clothes, because in this way your money goes directly to your countrymen, not to the British government. It was before they got independence. And then Japanese, they're very quick in making goods. They started making with their machines very nice, same looking material, fabric, same. You can't distinguish. But their material, if you buy their material, then your money goes to Japan, not to your country manufacturers. So he wanted to support his country manufacturers. So then he found the decision. He said, you buy your material only from certified shops. And he gave the names and addresses. So So people can know that if they go to that place, definitely they will support their fellow people, Indians. So this is the example how our acharyas, they care about us. They say, no matter what people say, the truth goes through that person. And they name that person. So Maharaj named Gurudev. Gurudev named 6 acharyas, 6 his representatives, that they tell genuine truth. He clearly said it. Others also may say, but maybe not. But these people are trustworthy. Isn't it? Why you look so sarcastic?
What are you talking about?
No, I'm just saying the general idea that we are not experts to tell the difference, to distinguish between right and wrong. So our acharyas, as Gandhi, they tell us who can tell you the truth.
It's not easy. I was in a program in Scotland, in Kerry number 1, for Nishingadev's appearance day. And suddenly the boy pulled out the book about certain pastimes of Lord Nishingadev, the deity in Mayapur, that the devotees there who served the deities had experience of Lord Nishingadev's pastimes suddenly. I mean, that's not what we would consider an authorized revelation as such. It's something that they've added on later. And we've never had that problem in our mind because we always had a divine preceptor that we could surely trust, you know. So if you don't have that, you could be susceptible to all kinds of variations or diversions or dilutions of the substance, you know. It's a fact. And people have to have some ras. If they don't find any ras, they'll make some ras and have that ras, you know. We were always advised to appreciate ras in a certain way, you know. The Matala Harijana Kirtana Rangi, you know. We have a high ideal, but we have that in our head and we go on chanting and hearing. That was our sort of, what do you call it? MO.
Yeah, we have method.
Yeah.
This is our treasure. We have method. We know that the divine revelation comes through the service, and our acharyas, they never said, "Oh, in my dream I saw this, so you do this," and we know obvious examples when someone of Gurudev's disciples or Sridhar Maharaj's disciple stands up saying, stood up saying, I had that revelation. Lord Nrsimha or whoever, Lord came in my dream and he told me what to do. And we know the reaction of our gurus. They didn't accept it. So this may be truth, maybe not. But obviously, there are obvious things. If someone tells you he had a revelation or enlightenment, and in this so-called spiritual experience, he was called or he was placed in some high position, then there is no doubt we reject it. If he stands up saying, I had a nice dream where I'm the lowest of the lowest, so we may accept it. But we, of course, we're asking, why do you need divine revelation to know that? Because in all books, in all classes of our acharyas, it's already taught. You don't need the confirmation from higher source, or well, from some inner source. It's already obvious. So we know no math, no line, we don't practice these kinds of Sahaja things. I'm dead. So if one says, I'm dead and this in Krishna Lila, and you also, then you may ask him, if I'm this and that in Krishna Lila, why Krishna didn't tell me directly, why he did it through you? This is what you questioned about, or because I don't really understand about Facebook. Because I think Facebook is just a big junkyard. People just spit there out whatever comes in their minds. Just a big trash yard of ideas.
Govinda was against devotees publicly saying their views on the Siddhanta. He was very upset in the past about one devotee wanting to publicly post things about our Krishna without having proper some guide to check the content that was going out. And now everybody's really saying their views and their ideas.
Abuse?
They are giving out their views.
Views, their views.
Their realization or their interpretations of their misunderstandings.
Sorry, their views.
Yeah, they are abusing this.
Really, I don't see any crime if we share our understandings of certain things, of semantic things. It's like a discussion. I don't think it's, if we have different viewpoints and if we don't offend other Vaishnavas or acharyas, previous acharyas, we can share our views.
Absolutely, and also with you, if you're very expert, you can actually use it for preaching. And some devotees are very good at that. And they attract many people that you wouldn't meet otherwise. Yeah.
As long as you don't abuse or offend others.
So then you can block them. On Facebook you can block. Yeah, so you have to use a little bit of discretion. You know, blind following, you can't. What would you say is specific on this, or is it just, what is it, general or specific, what is it?
The question was so vague, so generic. Just general.
Well, by asking the question, I was trying to find out my own question. I asked the question, but maybe the question would become more clear as I asked it, but it didn't, it became more vague. So
it became more vague?
Yeah.
Not good at most of
I didn't understand clearly.
I think you answered it.
Yeah, he did.
I thought he asked
Very clear to me.
what was his question.
It wasn't.
It's very clear to me because when you are saying we realize how right a person can be when they're following our line, when they're following the acharyas, then they're right. Then we can say, oh, they're saying something that is correct.
But how do we know if they're following or not?
Because you're saying they're not offending, they're just saying what the scriptures say.
Exactly.
In that way, we can follow.
Be cautious about faith of others, because the faith, Krishna says in Gita, faith does not belong to this world. It's beyond this world. It's transcendental. Anything you faith, your faith is transcendental. But the object of your faith may be material or spiritual. But the fact of faith, Krishna says, it is spiritual. So we care about faith. We don't ruin someone's faith, especially in rude way. has the faith, we very care about it. We may change the object of his faith gently, but not to ruin faith. So, if one has as we think, of course, as we think, one has a wrong idea. He has faith in the wrong thing. So we try to change the wrong thing into right thing, but not destroy the method, the link, which is faith. I remember when I just joined the mat, and some of our devotees greeted me, and I greeted him Radhe Radhe. He told me something, Dandavat or something, I don't remember, but I answered Radhe Radhe. And instead of smashing me, you are Sahaji, he said, "Oh, you are so advanced, Radhe Radhe, this is how devotees greet themselves in Vrindavan, so you are like, you are on Vrindavan level." And I thought, so shame. He was so gentle, he didn't smash me, knock me off. He just did it very politely. So, as Srila Sridhar Maharaj said, when we speak of faith, there are three agents: the person, his faith, and the object of the faith. So three. And he said that we respect the person, because Mahaprabhu said you respect everyone. So the person we respect, the faith, the fact of faith, we worship. And the object of the faith, we may criticize and we may discard. We are allowed not to respect the object of their faith. Some people have faith in fairies in the forest, right? So we respect them, we worship the fact of their faith, but we don't respect fairies, right? So there is three agents: person, his faith, and the object of the faith. And to each of these agents we have different attitude. We don't worship that person, and we don't worship the object of faith. So,
what do you mean, like the fairies do not exist, or do you mean like...
For us, we don't care actually. Maybe they exist.
Okay.
So if I know that there is a British government and some people have faith, but I don't worship the British government.
But you can respect them.
Yes, I do respect. If instead of having faith in British government, they have faith in, I don't know, in punks in the street. So I don't respect. So people may have faith in something that I don't even respect, but the faith I respect. I actually worship the faith because this is something divine. There was an instance with, I forgot, maybe one disciple of Ramanudracharya, Madhvacharya. He entered the temple with shoes of his spiritual master, and the guard, the priest, Brahmana, told him, I won't allow you in with the shoes. And he this is the shoes of my beloved spiritual master. And he said, yes, but I respect it, but I won't allow you, because do you think your spiritual master will enter the temple in his with his shoes? No. So the Brahmana, he respected the faith of this person, but he didn't respect the shoes as something that can enter the holy temple. So any other objections? Exclamations? Threats? Curses?
You mentioned earlier about exploitation. And how do you harm that humility, intolerance and exploitation?
How can you harmonize exploitation? How? If someone wants to exploit you, and you
should be tolerant, or not tolerant?
In different cases, different, but normally you just don't allow them to exploit you. You can explain that you want to exploit me, but you won't get any benefit, because you will have to carry. You will have to reap the fruits of your exploitation. You will have, so you can explain. Because you also may explain to this person that when I got initiation from my Gurudev, I sold him my soul, my senses, my soul, my mind, and my actions of my body, actions. So it doesn't belong to me anymore. So I cannot allow you to exploit something that doesn't belong to me and my soul. So it's already sold. Thakur Bhakti in his Sharanagati song, he said, I'm sorry all these prominent philosophers, all these philosophers who propagate different ideas. I have to say goodbye, because my soul is entirely sold already. I say goodbye to all these ideas. Jnana, karma, jnana. I'm sorry. My heart is totally sold to Mahaprabhu, to Krishna. So you can tell this in a polite way to a person who obviously wants to exploit you. If he says, well, I'm a senior devotee or I'm advanced, so you have to do this because I have a bigger position, then you can politely explain him that my Gurudev had a bigger position than you, and I'm supposed to serve him. But if you insist, then you can apply some physical methods. If he's persistent, you have to serve me. Just a couple of side kicks, side kick to the liver. Works perfect.
How do you know when someone is doing the opposite and is not trying to exploit you and trying to help you?
Well, I don't know. It's difficult.
It's your own faith, right?
Yeah. We know in theory that we serve to Gurudev, and Gurudev transfers or purifies your energy and transfers to Parampara and to Krishna finally. So we know this in theory. He's like a filter or a refiner. Like we want suppose we want a pure juice. We put an apple in the blender and then we have the pure juice. So this filter is Gurudev. He filters out all alloys, jnana, karma from our service and gives pure energy, pure sugar to his guru, his spiritual guides. This is in theory, but this is why we need intelligence and reason to differentiate, to distinguish.
I was thinking, because sometimes, when you are talking with people about, Krishna consciousness and basic things, becomes like the 4 principles, for example. And then sometimes I'm thinking myself that...
Which 4 principles?
Like, no eating, no gambling.
This is not our principles.
Well, they are the principles they give us when Gurudev give us the...
Gurudev didn't give these principles.
Yeah.
This is his own principles, not our principles. We follow them, but we don't call them 4 regulative principles.
But when they give
we
have
have different principles. In our mind, we have Trinada Pisunichina, Tarara Pisahijana, Amanina, Manadina. These are our 4 regulative principles.
Oh, because I actually remember when they were giving initiations, they always give you the
12
Patience.
And
no, like in Mexico, they gave it with the 4 principles, and Maharaj was translating it like.
When I got through initiation, because I was like before about 15 years in ISKCON, and when Buddha said, we follow certain principles, and I thought, oh, I know. And then suddenly he said, be humble, be tolerant, respect everyone, and don't allow anyone to respect you.
Don't expect.
Don't expect anyone respects you. And I thought, oh, this is something different. Of course, we follow these rules, but we don't call them regulative principles because it's obvious. If you respect everyone, you don't eat his flesh. So these are these are deeper principles. And not to eat meat, fish, or egg. It's a continuation or expansion or a part of that profound principle. Respect everyone. And it includes the respect for everyone includes not eating their flesh.
And that is actually how we can trust somebody. If somebody follows that, then they're doing pretty good, and they can probably have some faith in them. Yeah. If you have somebody that you can judge is humble and tolerant and respectful to others, then most likely he's not in an exploitative mood at all.
Yeah. Remember in Bhagavad Gita when Krishna explained Arjuna the knowledge. In the beginning, Arjuna asked him, finally Krishna says, find a spiritual guide, put full faith in him, and follow his steps, right? He said, ask him questions and have faith in his answers. because he knows the truth and he can show you the truth. I forgot the Sanskrit. Tattva-darshana, he sees the truth and he gives you the vision of truth. And then Arjuna asked, but how can I know this person? Everyone says, I know the truth, I will show you, just come. Give some donation, I will show you the truth. Pay 400 pounds, I give you initiation in Reiki. And then you see the spiritual boat around. Anyway, there are many chapters like this. And Arjuna asked, but how can I see this person? And Krishna gave him answer without pointing the objective qualities, only subjective. That this person is always thinking about it. But how can you see if he's thinking? Arjuna says how he walks, what he says, how he speaks, how he behaves alone or in public. What else? So he asks these questions that we can see without materializing. Krishna says, no, with materializing you cannot see this person. This is the most difficult part of spiritual science, because we're all ready to follow, okay? We came to the stage when we understand I have no power. I need some help, I need some guidance. I am ready to follow, but who I should follow? Give me the objective characteristics. And Krishna says, no, there is no. Krishna doesn't say, oh, this person must chant 16 rounds, or this person should wear Christian robe, or Hare Krishna dhoti. There is no such a thing.
What he says that this person is never angry to anyone.
Yeah.
So we can see this person, or we cannot see.
Compassionate towards you.
But it doesn't mean that he never shouts. When Sridhar Maharaj, he said, one who doesn't follow Govinda Maharaj, I hate him. So what kind of sadhu he is? He hates someone. Sridhar Maharaj said, he said, you want to follow me, but you don't follow who I tell you, then I hate you. Go out. He used this word hate.
That's because we have so much love, so anything against that concept is despisable. It's horrible and operatic, so we can't accommodate it.
Yeah.
At all.
But nevertheless, Krishna tells us some vague idea who we can have faith. One who is compassionate, one who, he says, for him, all living beings are equal. Brahmana, elephant, dog eater, cow, and he does not distinguish between piece of clay, gold, and rock. So for him, this material nature is all the same. But expert cheaters, they can pretend.
Also, he doesn't exploit anyone, he just gives rather than take.
Yes.
Living the truth.
He doesn't speak much. What is it? He holds monium. So he doesn't talk, speak. He never gets inside. Yeah, I remember the very important characteristic. He never becomes excited when he gets something, and never mourns, right, when he loses, never regrets when he loses. Because for him, rock, piece of clay, and gold is the same. So, what to regret about or to be excited?
Isn't it like everything is Krishna's things anyway, so we don't need to own anything anyway?
He sees everything is connected to Krishna. That's why he never gets excited. Krishna gave me something to serve him, and then Krishna changed his mind. He took it away. So it doesn't do no me either. And a foolish driver who drives the boss's car, some thinks, oh, this is my car. He's a foolish. So devotee, he always remembers that he drives Krishna's car. He uses Krishna's paraphernalia, Krishna's energy.
You mentioned before a reason. You can use a reason. Is that connected to like the inner guru teacher? Is that trustable as the inner as I? Or
when we are not firm in our faith, the reason is the only means we can use. When you try to in radio, you want to find a certain wave. Yes. First, you tune to with the rough. You have rough tuning, and then subtle. So the rough tuning is our reason, and then when we finally find the object of our faith roughly, then we can tune. We can start using more faith to hear what he's saying. And the reason acts like discarding the method from opposite, what is not acceptable, and then we narrow down the range of acceptable things. And so it's like anyone may call himself a guru, but we have some reason. We cut we cut those who are surely not gurus, those who eat someone's flesh, and he says, I am Guru Vaishnava. Definitely we cut him out from the range of possibilities, of our options. We cut him. Or if someone drinks and says, I am Guru Vaishnava, so we also cut him. So we see his behavior first, and then we narrow down the options. This may be guru, this may be guru, this may be guru. So now we need some fine tuning. Then we see maybe he is more compassionate. And I also remember Sri Gurudev said that before you make a temple, first do accommodations for devotee. Then you bring altar and deity worship. Devotees, he said, devotees are the priority. And this bought me. He bought me for this. Also, one of the criteria is that he has faith in his guru. If he doesn't have faith in his guru, why should he have faith in him? Bharati Thakur passed away, one of his predecessors, who he transferred his mat, and was Ananta Vasudeva Prabhu. And Sridhar Maharaj cooperated him very much, so he pointed him out from many others. But then he found out that Ananta Vasudeva Prabhu doesn't have faith in Saraswati Thakur, his guru. So Sridhar Maharaj just cut relations. I think we discussed this. Once Ananta Vasudeva said to Sridhar Maharaj that our Gurudev, our Prabhupada, sometimes was not correct. He gave some truths that are not in correspondence with revealed scripture. And Sridhar Maharaj said, yes, but revealed scriptures are realizations of different sages that dive deep into spiritual reality, and according to their depth, they described what they experienced, and their experience is the foundation of Holy Scriptures. So they dived into spiritual reality. But he said, but our Gurudev did not dive, he just came from this spiritual reality. He didn't want to go and experience. He just came. And Ananta Vasudeva said, yes, this is right if he was like this. So this if just destroyed the relations of Sridhar Maharaj and Ananta Vasudeva. He said, if you doubt this, then please don't come before me again. So this is also one of criteria. If someone bends down according to his interest, the words of Vaishnava Acharya, or he neglects him, that means he gives us the right. He gives us the right to neglect him. If your father says, "I don't trust my father," then you may say, then I don't trust you. Why you want me to trust you if you don't trust your father? So this is a principle. This is also a part of the reason that we have to use. When I was in ISKCON, I had a spiritual master. And once he said that Prabhupada, his Gurudev, Swami Maharaj, he did many mistakes. So then he said, well, why I should believe you then? Because the principle of parampara.
Who told them?
No. I never had a chance to speak with him. He was so exalted personality. He had thousands of devotees and disciples in Sweden.
Well, that's our Krishna.
Oh! That's my guru. So, okay, he did some other things that were not acceptable. But this was one of the major things that shaped my faith.
Yeah, he met Chaytanya Maharaj on the ferry, between Sweden and Denmark, because he ended up marrying some lady from Malmö.
Who? Chaytanya Maharaj?
No, what's his name? Our Guru,
I lived in Almix for 2 years.
Then he said something to Chaytanya Maharaj on doubt about that. Prabhupada wasn't right about this and he wasn't right about that. You know, we were actually saying that to Sri Ramanas. Sri Ramanas was not particularly happy about that, you know.
Yeah, this is why we say in principle, if your guru suddenly said that his guru made some mistakes, then why should I trust you?
Yeah, absolutely.
So there are many like subtle criteria that we can use in finding the object of our faith.
When I came to Saraswat Math, 1985 or 86, I came to my friend's house, Bharati, and he was a disciple of Prabhupada, Swami Maharaj. And he showed me Guru Maharaj's Bhagavad Gita. And he was a German gentleman and he said, this is almost a little nicer than Prabhupada's. And I was thinking, wow, you know, coming from you and all, are you sure? I said, you know, yes, I said, I think we should go there, you know. But then we went there. 2 weeks later we were in India, you know, to Chaytanya Saraswat Math. That's different though, because he didn't say that in saying that Prabhupada was wrong. He was just saying that Sri Ramakrishna is giving something higher, or he's sort of showing a very beautiful realization of Krishna consciousness, like that.
Yeah, this is exactly. One thing he says, Prabhupada's Gita is worse. And this is one thing, then he's abusing his guru. But when he says, Sridhar Maharaj's Gita is better, this is another thing. He praises another Vaishnava, not that he mutilates.
Exactly. He's just increasing his fortune by 100%. He gets another divine connection.
So even different Vaishnavas, they have right views to the truth, but their viewpoints are different. They present the truth in different way. So we don't abuse anyone's view. We don't abuse Shri Sampradaya or Kumar Sampradaya. We just
follow it.
Yeah, we follow our guru. We don't say they are wrong. We say our guru is right.
Oh, Gurudev said that many times. He talked about that when he came to the mat. That the Guru Maharaj said to him that you have to promise me to not listen to your mind. Now you listen to me, you know, like that. We're saying that. Because you know you have to be sort of re-installed into a concept that will benefit you, that I know, that I will give you. So you have to follow the process and get a result of that, so to speak. Basically, I'm offering you a relationship, you know. So you have to partake of that relationship in a certain way, according to our positions in the relationship, like that. But of course, this is the whole thing we were talking about. Where can we have that relationship? Where can we have that faith? So we need to be a bit discerning. We need to have some understanding in order to make an educated choice. I mean, you know, you'll probably never answer that question. What did Gurudev say about that? Because I know he said something about it somewhere. I can't remember where it was. You know, it's written somewhere. You know, questions and answers. You know, how you